We are here today to celebrate Diwali. Diwali is Festival of Lights. This means row of lights. This was the day historically when Rama sort of came back with his brother and his wife to Ayodhya. So all the people in the palace were extremely happy to see their prince back. It's good over evil. So that is the whole philosophy of Diwali. But also every festival is connected with food. So there is something called Annakut. So as part of Diwali, what happens is there's heaps of food piled up. So a lot of people sit together, eat together. A lot of food is also offered to needy people as well as part of the celebration. So this is a time also for people to reflect and support people who are not as privileged as they are. This is a wonderful way of bringing people together. Hala the Arts is an arts and education charity. We have been running workshops for the last 20 years. This time we took the project of Diwali. We have done various things as part of the project, educational workshops with 3 schools. So the 3 schools have learned the dance about Rama and Sita. Then we have had community workshops as well. A lot of the various communities across UK have been involved. A lot of the groundwork was done by the education officers from the museums. That really helped. The children were really fantastic. We created dances for them. Also, we did a map work. So we mapped out. So these children learned how they traveled from one part of India to another, and in fact also to Lanka as well.
Hi, I'm Karen Rowland. I'm the lead counselor for Culture, Heritage, and Recreation with Reading Borough Council. And it's been really a spectacular evening of a celebration of Diwali and looking at all the beautiful dance, the music, and all of that. It's just a magical, magical way to spend the evening. So I thank you all very much for having me and come along this evening and just really enjoy all the beautiful art, dance, and talent that is here this evening. So thank you very much.
Diwali actually has been celebrated throughout England in the last last 10, 20 years, more so. Last year, Sanjuti and myself, we were in Trafalgar Square celebrating Diwali. Yeah. That was like thousands of people. So it's wonderful that the museum is able to bring it here. We have been working with 2 museums. One is Merle, Museum of Rural English Lives, and Reading Museums. We have been working on this project for the last 7 months. But the planning has been nearly a year. This is something very personal to me. My father, who is a dancer, he's been coming to this country since 1974. So he is a pioneer of a style of dance called Kathak, which one of our dancers is going to present. So he passed away very suddenly last Wednesday. So I'm just going to pay a tribute to him because he's always come and helped us, volunteered, and he worked with schools. A lot of people know him. It's my way of showing sort of respect for his work and celebrate it. And he's there somewhere in the spirit, I'm sure. And then we move on to the Diwali story. So we have my colleague who is going to do the palace scene. Then we have one of our dancers. He is going to be acting the scene of fighting Ram and the battle scene, and I think you can see the battle come alive here. And then we have the Diwali story, with sort of candles, and we're talking about the story of Ram and Sita through the story. Then we have, from the Diwali story, we move on to something else. So another part of India celebrates a goddess Kali. And there is actually an exhibition of Kali at the British Museum for 4 months. So she has been sometimes used, I was told, to scare the British when they were there because she was a fierce goddess, lived in the crematorium. So we have Kali, our dancer, presenting Kali. His name is Kali. He's going to do Kali. Moving on from that, we have little production. So in the summer, we were funded from the Arts Council recovery funding. This was for our classes because it was just in desperation, save the company. Some of that money I've just used to actually work on a project, just sort of being able to pay some of our dancers for that. So this is about tattvas. Tattvas are all the 5 elements, like the earth and the water, the fire, all the energy we have. And also very relevant to COVID now, because we really need to be careful of the environment and look after it. So this is something we are presenting through our dance. So this is our very final piece for 20 minutes, and this is with our musicians as well, playing with us. Odissi dance is one of the 7 classical dances of India. So this dance comes from the east part of India, from Odisha. So it's quite an ancient form of dance. So the main deity of Odissi is Jagannath. So when we do a pose, you will see how the dance sort of is quite close to the temple culture. It's very graceful as a form. It uses a lot of positions, feet positions, hand gestures, telling of the stories, and very specific to Odissi is the torso movement. Also, it's said that the body is moving in 2 sort of different speeds. The top part of the body is moving slowly and the bottom part of the body moving fast. So it's like a combination of Shiva and Parvati. So Shiva is the god of dance, and with his beautiful wife, Parvati, who is very graceful. We have Ginny Cherian, who's a trustee. She is an amazing volunteer who's been there since day one. So she has an inside information in the sense like the dance form as well. So Kala the Arts does a dance form, creates a lot of development work around Odissi, which is a classical dance form. The dancers here today predominantly are from that style of dancing. Odissi comes from the eastern part of India. So we have used that vocabulary. Then we have our trustee, Priya Brown. She'll be making some candles. And then our trustees, other trustees, Michael, who has been helping sort of shape the project. We have a lot of community people from the organization who have done various stories with us. So what they did was they researched some stories and they have taken a great initiative. So it's an intergenerational project as well. So what they have done is they've used the paintings of their grandchildren to show how Diwali is celebrated within their culture. They have been the backbone of this project as well. The teachers definitely, our partners, and a wonderful artist, Kali Chandrasekharam. He's a senior sort of Odissi dancer. He's been working with us for 10 years. Then we have Sejuti Das, who has been working with us since 2012. And then we have Shyam, who has been working with us for a year or so. He's the Kathak dancer. And then we have got Hiren Chate, who I have worked since 2007.
The instrument I'm going to play is called tabla. It's a percussion from the northern part of India, and it's a main percussion in the Hindustani classical music. Like in our country, we have 2 classical music traditions. One is the north, which is the Hindustani, and the South Indian classical music tradition is called the Carnatic music. So it's like they are totally opposite, and the way they treat a musical scale or maybe a rhythmic cycle is very different. So I'm playing tabla, which is a 400-year-old tradition. It's the only percussion in the world which has an aspect of melody. So like you can manipulate different sounds on it, and it is tuned to a particular pitch when you're accompanying other musicians. Like today I'm going to be playing with Avtar, so it all depends on the pitch of his instrument. So if I'm playing with a vocalist, I might need a tabla of a different pitch, and so yeah, that's the beauty of the drums.
And then we have got Avatar, who's a new sort of artist today. He's working with us.
The instrument I'm playing tonight is called the taus. It's an ancient stringed instrument. It's derivative of the sarangi instrument, which is known as one of the oldest stringed instruments in the world. That is an instrument that has no frets, so you just play on the strings. This instrument you have frets on. The taus, the name in Persian means peacock. It's the shape of a peacock. It has a very soothing tone. Typically it's used to accompany Sikh hymns. It is quite a rare instrument. Yeah. It's great to have a platform like this to showcase these instruments. I think there's a range of things that are going to be performed. So we're going to have maybe a solo classical piece, and although I say solo, it's really a duet. We're playing for the first time together. There'll be items that my friend's going to be playing, and I'll be accompanying, and there'll be items that I'll be playing and he'll be accompanying. At the same time, we're going to have dance, and I think there's a variety of dance. There's a number of dances, and what we're going to be doing, we'll be holding the rhythmic cycles for them. So with the addition of the dancers, they're going to be showcasing their flavour, but we're really there to support them in the rhythmic cycles and creating and enhancing that atmosphere that they're exploring.
The best bit is, I think, working with the sort of museum, and they've been fantastic. They've been very supportive. Working with my team of artists, who are absolutely flexible and wonderful. And I think the whole sort of process. Thank you so much for making it happen for us. We're just loving it.